Sometimes I hit record without actually thinking about what I'm going to say. And by sometimes, more than you would think. Well met. Want to let you in on a sort of yearly tradition that started last year. My birthday is coming up in May, as well as my beautiful, talented, whimsical friend, Olivia. Something we started last year, heading to the studio for a day, taking each other's photos for our birthdays, like little birthday portrait sessions. Last year, we had the pleasure to photograph the nightgown. This year, she asked if I wanted to do another one, and with my whole ass chest, I said, let's go! This year's theme is fairies, based on different kinds of flowers, because I've had this inspiration photo saved on my Pinterest for years and years. I'm hoping this will cure my insatiable need for spring to come on this 40-degree day. Come on, man, my body needs it. Right, how am I gonna make this? Glad you asked.
Hey, bud. What's up, my dude?
We are watching my parents' dogs for the week. So there's currently four, count them, 4 dogs in this house right now. You wanna know something fun? Technically, because these are my parents' dogs, that makes him my brother. Let that sink in. Still quite burnt out from sewing from the last video. I'm gonna try to make this out of crepe paper. Truthfully, I want to be able to just like rip it apart if I need to and get rid of it. If you take a look at the costume, a lot of it is kind of like leaves and like structured kind of things. Something I was gonna do a while ago was make this DIY Lily of the Valley lamp. And so I've watched a few videos on how people do that, and it's essentially paper mache, but with crepe paper. Creepy paper. My first order of business though, I need to make like a bodysuit that I can glue everything onto. I have to dig through my stash to find a very sturdy material for that. Like 4 days to finish this. I think that's plenty of time. Maybe. And then we head to the studio, set up a whimsical fairy forest set. Sound good? To the fabric stash. Yep. So this fabric is not gonna be seen. I don't wanna use anything too nice, but it needs to be sturdy. Touch. This isn't bad. Right. That's nice, that's nice. Surprised this whole video is just me touching fabrics and going, that's nice. This faux leather. I don't know if there's enough of it though. Touch. Riveting. Yeah, there's not much of that left. Oh, what's this? Oh, that's not the same. Okay. Also, the more I think about it, any kind of faux leather probably is not great for gluing things on top of. Yeah. Ooh, nice velvet. I think I was saving this to make a waistcoat out of, but there's enough here that I think I could probably do both. Let's do it.
You know what time it is. Once again, smothering my dress form in copious amounts of plastic wrap. That's why they call me Mrs. Cellophane. Whenever I make patterns using this method, I always have to remember to give myself a generous seam allowance. This was pretty much how I wanted it, although I don't think I've ever shown this much upper thigh on YouTube before. Also realized I looked kind of like redheaded Tinkerbell. I totally agree, thanks.
It's that time. Time to hot glue some to something that I've sewn. Do I look like the guy from Wicked? Oh, I totally do, don't I? Where's my Toto? Give my Toto. Real ones, remember? as you saw, my Tinkerbell-esque outfit. We are about to make it a little even more Tinkerbell. I don't love how much this shows of my upper thigh and crotchal region. What I'm gonna do is change the design a little bit. So instead of it being like a romper, I'm gonna add like a cute little leaf skirt, kind of. So it's gonna look something like this. Very Tinkerbell, very fairy, very cute. As mentioned, how I'm gonna do that, crepe paper. I just have to be very careful. I did do a sort of like strength test, and you do kind of have to pull it quite a bit for it to tear, unless you like make a tear, and then you're done. So whip that hot glue up, get to work.
With all of the elegance and sophistication of a seasoned seamstress, I slathered that hot glue on there and just kind of glued them on willy-nilly. They were looking a little lifeless though, so I did hot glue the bottom and left it like this for way too long, and it kind of gave it a little bit more life. And by that, of course, she means that it was time to put the little white section on there. For the little chest area petals, I just did the same kind of hot glue curl over trick. And then it was time to do this light green, like fin kind of thing. This was also looking a bit flaccid, so I did fold over the edges and then glued those down so it stood up a little bit more. Then it was time for the bodice. I had no rhyme or reason for this. I kind of just puzzle pieced them together using the curves of the dress form to almost form like a hot glue kind of armor. And just kept going, filling in all the empty spaces until she looked like a lovely corn on the cob.
I'm gonna see if this actually goes onto my body without ripping into 56,000 shreds. Oh. She's rigid, like a shell. Hey, this is actually cute. Yeah, I hate doing zippers, man. Okay, without zipping it up all the way, because I have 2 layers of clothing underneath, but hey, it's actually not as fragile as I thought it was gonna feel. I feel like I belong in the Hook universe, and that makes me quite happy. That will do. Pig! I may or may not have just gotten overwhelmingly exhausted yesterday and curled up on the couch. And so here we are the next day. Hee hee ha ha. What needs to happen right now is all of the little flower bulbs. I've done the girl math, and 10 of the larger size, 6 of medium, 7 of small, 7 of extra small. So I've got a right proper setup here. Not gonna get any glue on this family heirloom table. Definitely not. I've already done a test. The white crepe paper, dipping it in PVA glue, and then blowing up a balloon to the size that I want, draping it over, letting it set. And that is this. From here, I would cut out the little petals.
It's my mans. What's up, my boy?
1.5 miles,
Oh my god.
29 minutes.
Wow. Good job, buddy. Be free.
2 days ago was Frodo's 11th gotcha day. So before I get started here, a little interlude, and I'll show you some Frodo puppy footage. Roll the clip.
Frodo.
Frodo, I gotta get used to that Frodo. Frodo.
Blow up a bunch of these in the corresponding sizes. That is 30 balloons. Oh my god. Oh no. One, 29 more to go. Too big. 2. That would not be funny. 3. This is more difficult than I remember. Hath my lungs grown weak in my old age? 6. Why do I make that face? 10. All right, that does it for large. I'm gonna start mache-ing these, I think, before I start blowing out the medium ones. Taking this, making this too small. We're just gonna go with it. Oh yeah. Oh, my wrist. Mix it all together. Forbidden milk. I regret saying that. Sounds like a romantasy novel. Dunk. Take this. Take my balloon. And then just drape it. Oh, it's so goopy. Shh. Hush now. Next. Oh. Her heart half hesitated, for she did not think this through. Oh. Gonna regret that one later. Dunk. So speaking of weak wrists and getting inexplicably exhausted after doing almost nothing, as discussed, my birthday is coming up. 34, baby. Just thought maybe we could have a little a little discussion and sort of a rant, I guess. I feel like I've always personally had a pretty good relationship with aging, truthfully, because I cannot wait to be an old woman. I just paint in my little studio. I think that's part of it, is that I'm just counting down the days till that happens. Something I feel like I've been noticing in myself, mainstream media as well. Listen. I have always been of the mind that getting work done and plastic surgery is totally up to the person. It's your body, you can do whatever you want, and I still stand by that. But I guess my sort of issue, is coming from the de-aging. Oh, listen to that. The de-aging that's happening, in Hollywood, and the kind of repercussions of that. I'm realizing that this is gonna take way more paper than I thought. Hard part of it is I feel like, okay, individually, you can de-age yourself however you want. When everybody starts doing it, it starts to become sort of dystopian, and it kind of comes down to why? I mean, I know the answer to that, right? Is that women are not allowed to age, okay? Or at least that's kind of the pressure that they're put under. I feel like it's kind of a trend just to look as young as you can, plump yourself up and pump yourself up. When everyone that you see in movies and TV over the age of 45 is doing that, what message does that send? Permeates your brain without you really even thinking about it? Listen, I'm getting older, okay? As one is wont to do. I find myself the past year or so nitpicking my appearance for any signs of aging, which is crazy to me. For someone who is relatively comfortable with getting older, why do I care? So I have extra skin underneath my neck, right? And when I turn, you can really see it. And so I found myself, and I'm even embarrassed to admit this, Googling, out of curiosity, neck lifts. And if not neck lifts, then, some sort of Botox or some sort of cosmetic procedure. Only recently I had to stop myself and be like, what the fuck? It's like that Tim Robertson sketch where he's like, what have they done to us? And that's how I feel. Kind of low-key brainwashing. And granted, a lot of that is from having a career where I stare at my face constantly. Let's be so real for a second. If you're talking to someone, are you noticing their neck skin or their eye wrinkles? And if you are you thinking anything negative about it? No. I have never once clocked that on anyone or cared. And if you do care and you think it's a negative thing, then you should probably reevaluate your values, because thinking of aging negatively on anyone is so majorly messed up. Not to be cliche, but aging is a gift and we're all lucky to be here. As someone who lost a friend last year who was my age, I'm not gonna talk about it, but basically, I'm sure she would have been so grateful to have wrinkles and to age, and not everybody gets to. So I'm trying to embrace all of the saggy skin and the lines. So yeah, come on this adventure with me, I don't know. When it comes to being a role model for younger people who feel like now they can't age without being looked down upon, that's where I have a problem. I don't know, I just had to get that out, and now I'm sitting here with poopy hands and no more crepe paper because I ran out, and a lot of opinions. I need to figure out what else to do with my day, because my day was going to be covering balloons and paper, and now that I've run out, need to reassess. I'm ruminating. Okay, I'm gonna switch to the cutie little hat. Before we do that though, I just wanted to wrap up my thought. I recently was watching the new season of Beef, which has Carey Mulligan in it, and I could not help but just be so mesmerized by how beautiful she is. How pleasant it was just to see an older woman exist. Which is like a crazy concept, but you don't see it often in the media that we consume. Again, a dangerous slope that I feel like we are slipping towards. Not that a lot of arenas in this world are not a dangerous slope. You know, it's low on that kind of urgency list, but I think it is something worth noting. Almost 34, and I'm tired. I'm tired of worrying about looking older than 34. I'm tired of worrying about people on the internet liking me. It's been my life for like 10 years now. I'm over it, okay? So we're gonna be a fairy, okay? That's what's gonna happen. This meat bag is gonna change. It's gonna change a lot. What really matters is up here. Your mind. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Birthdays inevitably, you know, make you like a little bit, just a smidgen existential. We good? Hi. So cute. To make the hat, I need to go out to my barn. It's quite difficult because I seemingly have trapped myself forever. He's just a baby. You ever just hold your little brother and just stare into his eyes? His oddly human eyes. All right, be free. Let's go. Forgive me, I have not had time to pick up after my frog project. Relocate? Are you ready to play? How big is her skull? My head measurement is, did you guess 24 inches? You get a cookie. Here you go. This has only been in my hair and sitting out since 2 videos ago. Come on, eat up. I'm wondering how much I can do with heat on this. Like if I were to just make one circle, could I heat it enough that it looks like a little hat? My instinct is telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. Okay, I'm gonna use really thin foam. Is this a dumb idea? I don't care. Form it around something circular. Actually, I think I may have a couple heads upstairs. You want random disembodied body parts? I'm your girl. Every day I go down these stairs and I think to myself, is this the day I eat it? Give it a try. Oh, it's recognizing him as a face. Oh, lovely. This is not working. Plan B.
If you watched my frog video, this is basically the same thing where I just contact cemented the sides and then glued them all together until it resembled like a stained glass lamp from a 90s Italian restaurant.
I feel like this is gonna be too small. Wow. We're getting there. I'm gonna make the same thing, but the slightest bit bigger. Hold. Okay. That's better. And then these will curl up. The top got a little messed up and the overall shape of it isn't quite right, but I'm gonna throw some heat on it and then just like lay it on my head and try to round it out a little bit. They're cute.
As I was heating it up just to form it a little, I discovered this happy accident, which you can hear my reaction in real time. My next delivery of white crepe paper came in and it still wasn't enough, so I impatiently tried to get creative and just used green for some of the other ones with the intention of painting it white later on. Did this stain my fingers green for the next 3 days? You bet your bottom dollar it did.
Behold, my bounty. Yep, pop the balloons, and then cut out the lily of the valley shapes. Then I have to, unfortunately, paint the green ones white, which I feel like it's gonna take me a little bit of time because these are very textured. So the photo shoot is tomorrow. Bright and early, I need to head out of here. So everything needs to be done by tonight, and I have a lot to do. Woo! My hope for this project is that after I'm done with the little bulbs that I can use them for some other decor purpose. So either like maybe I can stick some lights in there and hang them from like a mirror, turn them into a lamp, and then I'm gonna curl these up, but they sort of stay like that. I don't know if this is just like wishful thinking that they're gonna stay. I love the smell of Elmer's glue. Art class in elementary school was a very formative time for me. If you had told little me that I would be doing paper mache on camera for money, she probably would have said, don't talk to strangers. Where's my mom? Something like that. Whee! I realized pretty quickly when I started painting those green ones white that it was not going to work, and it just kind of reactivated the mache, making them very wet and sad. So I had to abandon that. Taking a step away from that, I decided to start building the little belt. This was relatively easy to do. I just kind of formed it with floral wire and then stuck them on there. Adding some hot glue for security, and it was a little annoying because I kind of had to hold them in place for a copious amount of time. Sir. Armed with even more white crepe paper, it was time to remake all of the green balloons that didn't quite work. Which was a little stressful because this was really down to the line, but what's life without a little adrenaline, right? Then I made the little petals for the rest of the chest area and the sleeve area, accompanied by some lovely dog snores. For this, I just did the same little hot glue petal trick that I did before, and I let them curl over and form. I decided to get fabric for the belt sash, and then I decided to make the little arm flounces out of the same material, just because I figured that if it was made out of paper, I definitely would have ripped it. And then the morning of the photo shoot, I woke up at the ass crack of dawn, because if you're not finishing your costumes up until the very last second you need to leave the door, did it actually happen? I look like a little Pikmin, or like I belong in like Wizard of Oz. Oh yeah, it's got some good jiggle physics. Oh, precious. All right, it's early and I'm tired and covered in hot glue strings, but it's fairy day. So I am on the road to the studio and we are going to spend a generous amount of time setting up the backdrop, which I'm quite excited about. Everything in the back here. I've got to make a quick pit stop. Oh my god! A beautiful little dude! Then commenced the 5-hour setup for this photo shoot. I'm going to give you the tiniest little glimpse because the whole behind the scenes process will be up on Patreon within the next couple weeks. With that shameless self-promotion, I think we're ready for the reveal. I'm just gonna do a really quick wrap up on this one. Oh, I know. I think it's just okay. I don't feel like either way about it. I'm not super duper proud of it, but I'm also not like, this is the worst thing that has ever been created by these hands. I'm in the middle. It did its purpose in that I think it looks nice in the photos that Olivia took, and that's all this really was. Originally, I wasn't even gonna make a video about this, and I was just gonna do it in my spare time. I had fun, and you know, we had some good times, right? So the dress itself, nothing remarkable about it. I wanted to paint it and add some more dimension, but after what happened with trying to paint the green bells, I didn't want to risk it. So it is kind of a little bit boring, but the flowers I do think came out very cute. Look at them. Like I said, the best part about this project is that now these are made, so I can just like reuse them for something. I definitely think I want to make a little lamp by sticking like some fairy lights in there. They are so loud. When I walked around, it was like, I sounded like an old-timey, just married car. But yeah, they're cute. I love them. The hat is just so stupid, and I love it. Me and Olivia had a great time, and then we got some takeout, sat on our porch, and had our little cupcakes for our birthday.
Happy birthday to us.
You should go wish Olivia a happy birthday. And also, if you admire a talented photographer making sets with her own two hands and creating a magical world that you can step into, you can book Olivia. Kate and her, they're starting to do like workshops for photographers to build their portfolios. They're having workshops for models. I'll have all their info for their studio, which is called Faylight Forge, down in the description, so you should do it. But yeah, that's it. I don't know, just a fun little springtime project.
I love you so very much, whether you're new or old to this channel. If you're new here and you'd like to stick around, feel free to subscribe, you know.
I upload every other Friday, and we have fun here. And I will see you in the next video. Bye! Making my way downstairs, smacking my tripod against everything I can find. I swear if I touch that ISO and the sun comes back from behind a cloud. Sun, could you please decide what you're doing? Ow.